It's time for us to speed up. We can't slow down, and we can't wait for the slow ones anymore. We've made countless videos on them. It's time for us to speed up. I had a question on buying real estate. Before we do, think about subscribing. And before we get into the video, think about subscribing, join the channel. At the end, I have a special announcement. So stay tuned to the end. When it comes to real estate, I'm going to play you this clip first.
Excuse me, sir. Quick question for you, man. Is this your Lamborghini?
Why do you ask?
I go all over the country just asking people some questions on advice to the younger generation of kids coming out of school. Thought you had a beautiful car. I wanted to know if we could ask you a few questions for the channel.
Hit me. What do you got?
What do you do for a living to be able to put a Lamborghini out here in Las Vegas?
I do real estate out here in Las Vegas.
How long have you been in real estate for?
I've been in real estate for almost 20 years now.
What's been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Tens of millions of dollars in revenue, and net profit, I'll keep that to myself.
Do you come from money?
No. My dad left my sister and I with my mom when I was 1 and she was 3 years old. I'm a high school dropout and I didn't go to college. But what I always say, and I think it's important to say this because I think it's important for people to recognize it when it's within their reach. I didn't come from money, but I came from resources. But we all come from resources. It's just, are we conscious of them? So did I have somebody that I could go, hey, can you help me get better? And that person would respond and say yes. But it starts with the balls and the humility to look at that person and say, will you help me? That's what it starts with. So did I have a lack of resources where people were willing to help me? No. But do I give them all the credit? Fuck no. I get the credit because I had the balls to ask them.
We don't lack resources, we just lack resourcefulness.
Yes, there you go. That's a beautiful saying.
Let me ask you this,
And I don't even know if coming from money is of benefit. Those poor guys get stripped of the beautiful experience of generating money. Think how sad that is. Think if you woke up, Andrew Tate said this one time, he really articulated it right. I understood the mindset, but he articulated it correctly. Could you imagine being a sheik where money is irrelevant? You could have anything on the planet. You could buy any of these hotels. Like, what a horrible feeling that you don't get that amazing dopamine rush of working hard for something, seeing the results, and then being able to go out and spoil yourself. Those guys got stripped of that on the day they were born. There's value in not coming from money.
As a multiple 8-figure entrepreneur, what's been the best financial advice that you've received throughout your career?
You can't save your way to being rich. You can't save your way to being rich. A lot of people will say to themselves, how can I afford that thing? And they bust out all their bills and they go, mortgage, car payment, cell phone bill, entertainment for food, gas, bullshit, and then they see if they can afford it. That's not your problem. You need to make more money.
I love that. And how can someone make their money work for them in today's world?
I'm a big believer in buying cash flowing assets. I have been able to live a really abundant life with dumb shit and toys like this by buying assets that produce cash flow. And the asset that I like to buy is rental properties.
Right. Majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. What keeps people broke in today's world?
Politics keeps people broke. Football keeps people broke. All the distraction keeps people broke. Alcohol keeps people broke. Think about that. Every Sunday there's 75,000 fans times however many football games going on at a time. They love it. On Monday they wake up, they could barely make it to work. Those people, all that ambition has been washed away because they've all boozed the day before. Why do you think football's on a Sunday? If they wanted America to go back to work with life and ambition and drive, they'd put football on Saturday because then they'd have Sunday to recover so they could go to work feeling great. So all that distraction, in my opinion, it's all designed to numb out society, numb out ambition, and just keep people being content waking up and going to work from 9 to 5, from 9 to 5. Think about this. When you put some guy in the wilderness with no distractions and no alcohol, no nonsense, and no resources, you come back 6 months later, the fucking guy's built a fort, he's got fucking games, he's got a way to fish, he's got a way to get clean water. That's the true, authentic being of a human. We are creators by default, but with no distraction.
What did you have to sacrifice to be able to build all this, man?
I sacrificed my health. I sacrificed my friend groups. I sacrificed my family. I sacrificed my sanity. I sacrificed every single part of my life. I sacrificed. But I look back now, and I'm grateful that I did. And I wouldn't change anything about it.
You got amazing advice. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate it.
I apologize to that influencer. When I was going through the editing, I deleted your content. I cannot find it. If anybody knows who that was, who was doing the interview, I apologize. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. That person sitting in that Lambo, I believe him. Because he said it took 20 years. He didn't say he had the plays. He didn't say he had the classes. He didn't say he had the shortcut. He said it took sacrifice. He doesn't drink. He sacrificed time with people. He doesn't watch football like that. It took him time, 20 years in sacrifice to get to where he is. At first, I thought that video was going to be, like one of his clickbaity, everyone's acting. That's real. I believe him because I've gone through the same thing. A lot of you guys know I don't drink. I may listen to a football game, but I'm not sitting there watching the whole game. Go Birds, go Eagles. Even during the Super Bowl when they played the Chiefs, there were some people over, but I was hosting. I'm thinking of ideas for the channel. Your mind is always going. But to the person, I believe his name was Josh, he asked me a question. He said he had questions about Grant Cardone, who, in my opinion, I have my opinions about Grant Cardone. I'm going to keep it to myself. And I have my opinion about all these influencers out here, but I'm just going to tell you something. You don't need any of their books. You don't need any of their classes. You don't need any of that. The first thing you need to understand is it begins with money. You need money to make money. The first thing you need to understand, and this is what I had to understand, there's two ways you can go. If you have a family and you just want to buy a nice house in the suburbs, that is what I suggest. Look for a great school system, look for parks, look for pools, look for public transportation, look for great areas with great school systems, low crime, and the value of your home. You have my opinion, and you have more than my opinion. The value of your home will most likely go up over time with with low crime and good school systems. I've yet to see good school systems and low crime depreciate in value, okay? It may depreciate a little bit with a crash here or there, but it tends to go up. There's nothing wrong with buying a single family home. A single family home, you're still building equity. You still have the peace of mind of owning something that's yours. You get your piece of the American pie, but you still need money for it. And you need even more money when you get into investment real estate that I'm going to get into in a second. When you buy a single family home, it's you, your family. Hey, you do what you got to do. If you're a single man or single woman, you might not want a big house for yourself. Maybe you do, maybe you won't. Maybe you want a townhouse. Maybe you want a condo. Those are both great. Once you get married and you look to have kids, you can always rent that out. There's always somebody looking for somewhere to live. So in my opinion, condo, townhouse, single family house, whatever you want to do, always buy in great suburbs with great school systems. People will always want to live in a safe neighborhood. No one wants to get bonked over their head. At least I don't think they do. So you got to figure out what you want to do. There's perks to both of them. Now that single family home in a great area, it'll go up in value. There's some tax things you can write off, like taxes and stuff like that. Certain property tax, but it's your home. The backyard is yours. The front lawn is yours. It's yours. When you get into multifamily homes, you're sharing everything. Remember that. You're sharing the backyard, the front lawn, the driveway. You're sharing the noise. All right? You're sharing all of this stuff. The perks are they can help you pay the mortgage if they pay on time. When things break, you're going to have to fix that. There may be times you got to leave work and there's something going wrong in their unit and you got to meet the plumber, you got to meet the electrician, you got to meet the landscapers. Stuff goes wrong. You got to be able to have the flexibility to leave work to go deal with that. I've been through that in the past. Is it fun? Hell no, it ain't fun. But when the checks come in, that's a good feeling knowing that the money's coming in. And then there's flipping real estate. I hate when these people have classes, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and Porsches acting like you could just do it this easy. Let me ask you a question. To buy real estate, and you're going to flip real estate, right? How are you going to buy real estate with no money and flip it? No money down flipping real estate? There's property tax. Until somebody buys that place, you got a mortgage unless you pay cash for it. You have property tax you got to pay for. If you're going to be flipping homes and buying and putting in sheetrock and countertops, how are you going to get the money for that? Remember, you're not living there. You're living somewhere else. So you need more money. You need money to be in limbo. You got money out there that you're assuming and speculating you're going to make a profit on. You have a career. You have your own home. You got your own family. Do you really want to go down this route of not seeing your family, not seeing your friends, missing the games, missing all that? Because you're going to miss a lot of that. You might be missing work too. You got to meet the plumber. You got to meet the countertop people. If you're not doing all that your own, Now, if you're doing all that your own, how are you paying for the place where you live? So if you're paying someone and all the contractors, are you going to do the landscaping work yourself? You can't have that place looking like crap if you're looking to sell it. If you live in a cold climate area, you got to pay for the water. You got to pay for the heating. You got to keep heat on. You got to keep the furnace on. If you don't, pipes will freeze. They will bust. Now you have a bigger problem. When you're showing the place or the realtor's showing the place, they want to be able to flip a light switch and have power in there. They want heat in there. Say you're selling this flip and it's 30 and 20 degrees outside. A person doesn't want to come into a home. There's no power. There's no heat. You're paying all the utilities and everything until that house sells. You're paying sewage. You're paying landscaping. You got to pay security. Somebody may come in and squat in your house. There is pluses and minuses to everything. This ain't no 50 Cent song. Just like Cat Williams said, ain't no music in the background, ain't none of that. This takes money. It takes time. Everything great takes time. And this is why I said we got to speed up and we got to leave the people behind, because we can't wait for the people who want to keep gambling. We got to grow. We got to build our finances. And then while everybody else is still gambling, we're showing the life that we're living. We're growing. We're not at work as much. We got the 9/11. And then when people look at my past videos, there are no quick plays. It's index funds. It's real estate. It's great career. It's stay out of trouble. You see, I said I was like the S&P 500. There was a method to my madness. People can't look at the Porsche and go, oh, it must be nice to have that. You can have your opinions. But did you check out the other 600 videos I made? This is why it's time for us to move ahead, and it's time for us to start enjoying ourselves. We can't keep wasting time with people who don't want to change their lives. Now, remember I said I had an announcement? I hope that helps, Josh. Remember I said I had an announcement? My next video, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to start taking vacations for free. You ain't got to pay me no classes. You ain't got to duke me no money. All you got to do is give me a thumbs up and think about subscribing. I'm going to start literally showing you how to take vacations. And as time goes on, you'll start to see, if you get into that real estate game and you stay true with the index funds, you'll have more money than you've ever dreamed of. You keep working a great career, or even the career you're at, and you advance, you go in that office, you join the 401k, you join the match, you working, you're saving, you're living below your means. Eventually, I never thought I would get to this point where I'm literally generating more cash than I am going to work. That's the ability and being disciplined to wait to buy that Porsche when interest rates come down. So the next video, stay tuned. I'm gonna show you guys how to start taking vacations for free. No regrets. Hope you made it this far. Think about subscribing, liking, joining the channel. No scams here. No regrets. Get it.